Have you ever thought about doing a TED Talk? Well, I think you should. I believe everybody has a TED Talk in them. And even if you never actually deliver a TED Talk on a TED stage, it's actually a really useful thing to learn. I believe I've coached many, many people over the years to either deliver final TED Talks or just learn TED principles. It's a great way to learn how to be a better communicator, to learn how to really think about your own ideas and put them across in a really impactful way. So I thought, let's look at a TED Talk today, and I've picked a random one, and I'm just going to comment on it to show you that being a TED speaker isn't about being perfect. It's a technical way of putting across information, and we're going to have a look at what this TED speaker does well and what we can learn from them. So this is a TED speaker. I've not watched it yet, but it's someone called Brian Lowery. Let's see how he gets on.
Life is amazing. Life is incredible. The experiences we have, the possibilities of personal achievement. You could summit Everest. You could create a huge successful business. You could give a TED Talk.
So I'm going to pause it there. So this is TED style speaking straight away. What we've got here is a speaker that hasn't come on stage and gone, hello, everybody. I'm going to talk about blah, blah, blah. He's gone straight to the heart of his talk by making a really bold statement. Life is amazing. And then he started sharing us all the things that make life amazing. And he's linking it to having a sense of achievement, climbing Everest, doing a TED talk. And you'll notice his body language is really, really expressive. He's using big gestures. He looks relaxed in his body and he's coming across as somebody really authentic. Let's see a bit more.
And when you're successful, it feels incredible. Success, the flush of excitement, the celebration, and you should celebrate the congratulations, the posting on Instagram, wherever you put your stuff up. It all feels great. But when that fades, when that starts to fade, sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once, a question comes up. Is this it? Is this all there is?
Awesome. So now we've got the crux of what a TED Talk structure does. So we started off with this bold statement. Life is amazing, isn't it? Think about all those things that you can achieve in life and how they make you feel. And you post on Instagram and you could do all these things. But then with success, dot, 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 a question always comes up. Is that all there is? So this is classic TED. He's posed a problem that we can all relate to. So this is really great, a great start because it pulls us in because it's like, yeah, I can totally relate to that. So TED Talks are really relatable, even if it's a really big and complicated idea. He's simplified it right in the start and he's really got me hooked. Let's see what else he says.
And so I'm going to tell you a little story about myself to give you a sense of this. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a professor at Stanford. When I got my job, I was elated, and a little bit terrified. And I was terrified because when you get a job like that, you know you're going to be reviewed in about 7 years. And either you're going to be given tenure, more or less a job for life, or you're going to get fired.
So I love this. So TED speaking is so much about telling your personal story. Most TED speakers bring in their personal story pretty early on, and I'm not surprised that he's done it. So what I think is really clever here, he's set up his stall. He's given his credibility by saying, I'm a professor or whatever he said at Stanford, and I got this job and I was excited and terrified. So TED speaking is really, first of all, revealing the truth of who you are, but not doing that to impress people. It's showing your vulnerability. And he does that really well. So we're impressed that he's the successful guy, but he's showing us the truth that he was terrified. And he creates the stakes really early on by saying, right at the beginning, it was like either I was gonna win or I'd be sacked. So we're already like, oh, we go with him on this terrifying journey. And again, it links to the context, which is success. And is that all it is? And he's sharing his own experience. So let's see what he does now.
It's a little bit like that movie, Glengarry Glen Ross. The scene where Alec Baldwin's character goes in to give the motivational speech, and he says, it's going to be a competition. First prize, Cadillac Eldorado. Second prize, set of steak knives. Third prize, you're fired. It's a little bit like that, except there's no second prize. And it turns out, as you might imagine, that has a way of focusing your mind.
So again, really creative ways. So you'll notice we've gone from this bold start, we've got the personal story, and then he's used an analogy of taking a movie. So TED speaking is really like using creative, simple devices to make an idea really easy for us to understand. I've not seen that movie, but he made it really visual for us. He talked about I can't remember the first thing, but he said it's either steak knives or you get fired. So again, he's creating this emotional connection with us, and like we really connect with the terror of what he's psychologically faced. And he's given us a little laugh as well. So in TED speaking, you want to bring a bit of humor, a bit of vulnerability, and you want to take us on an emotional roller coaster. So he's doing that really well.
Right. So I was really, really focused on doing good research, getting my papers published, doing well in the classroom, and all the other little things you need to do to get tenure. And 7 years later, I made it. I made it. Thank you. And it was a huge relief, and I was so excited. I was so excited. But that question came up. Is this it? Is this really all there is?
So there we have. He's gone full circle to the question he had right at the beginning. So again, roller coaster time. He said this was the beginning. He set the stakes really high, and maybe I'm going to be sacked, but I really researched hard. I really did well, and then I made it. So there's this climax in the audience, and he takes us up in terms of our emotions. We feel excited and happy for him, and the audience applauds, and then it's like, but then bang. The question is this all it is? So there we go. So I'm not going to carry on. I'm just going to take a little bit of it. But there's a few things that we can learn there. One, personal storytelling is where it's at. When we have been through some sort of tough experience in our lives, often that's where a really good TED Talk idea can appear. So my question to you, if you're thinking, could I do a TED Talk? What things have you gone through in your life where you maybe faced something challenging and really learned something? The next thing is what we can learn from him is he's sharing his story in a really honest way. He's not sharing a story to impress us. He's sharing a story from the perspective of it was tough and I got there, but there was some lessons at the end of it. I learned this lesson. So when you're thinking about sharing stories, what was the journey you went on and what did you learn from experiencing that? And the final thing we can learn from him, he's not the perfect public speaker, but he's very much himself and he's really using his gestures, connecting with the audience. So it feels really, really authentic. So I think that's it for now. Do you find this useful? I'm going to try this a way of looking at TED Talks. And if you like it, let me know. And if you have a TED Talk idea, I'd also love to know. So that's it from me today. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.